When you find a volunteer who loves doing what they're doing, nothing is stronger than a heart on that particular individual. They love doing this. They don't do it for the money. They don't do it for, to walk around and say, I'm a fireman, I'm a big bad fireman, I can do this and that. They do it specifically for being able to help other people, and that's what they get out of it.
You spend a lot of time, in volunteer organizations, you spend a lot of your own money, your time and effort, take a lot of risks, you work real hard. You always don't get a lot in return. But probably the best thing about being a firefighter to me is to be able to look into that person's eyes, that you've just made an attempt to save their home, or you maybe helped them with an accident, or maybe it was a first aid call. They don't have to say a word to you, but if you look into their eyes and you can see that appreciation, that makes it all worthwhile.
A special type of person to be a firefighter, because there are so many elements that you're going to deal with, and you have to have that drive to help people, help your fellow man. And without that, you're not going to make it. You got to have it. You've got to have the compassion. You've got to have the heart to do it.
It usually takes a person that's dedicated to their family, because they've got to care what goes on to their family to be able to go out and take care of somebody else's family.
I guess being able to serve your community in a positive way, being able to do things that will benefit someone else on a daily basis, I think it's a self-rewarding feeling, and pretty much why a firefighter does what he does.
Being a volunteer, to my notion, makes the guys stand out. They're accomplishing something in their own mind, for their own self. They're not doing it for the glory. They're doing it mainly to help the neighbors. But if you're doing it for the glory, there's no glory in it. You're out there to help the neighbors, the community. If it's a fire, a rescue, medical call, a lost kid in the woods you're hunting, looking for something else, you're out there to be assistance and do what you can for the community.
When I was a fireman, and people asked for help, well, I could try to help them. And that just makes you feel good, especially if you do something good for them. And sometimes you can't really do nothing good, but you're trying. And that was a good feeling that you tried.
I found that most of them that I dealt with were very dedicated to what they were doing. Whether they're volunteer firemen, policemen, rescue people, or whatever. Most volunteers are very dedicated to whatever it is their cause is. If somebody's going to volunteer to do a project of some kind, they get very committed to it, And I found firemen are pretty much that way or more.
And they say most volunteers, firemen, they have volunteered in periods of about 5 years. And most of the guys that I was in here with was in there 15, 20, 25 years. And it was still some of them there when I left at 25 years.
There's been a lot of people have come and gone from here. I mean, you've had, people from all walks of life. You've had your truck drivers, you've had your nurses, people from all walks of life, attorneys, have been volunteer firefighters. And I've met some really, really good people throughout my time with the fire service. These men and women of this department are my second family, and we are a family. And that's what makes us work so well together.